welcome back to Heater Dynasty Podcast, the Player Series. Today we are introducing Phil Noer. And this situation was kind of caused by GM Newell. We weren't going to have Phil Noer on this week, but we had to kind of summon the perpetrator here and
here I am.
Try to right some wrongs.
On trial live right now.
No, that's not true at all. This just happened to work out perfectly. But to address the elephant in the room, what were you doing, Phil?
All right. Well,
why does your roster looks like it does?
Right. And I'm looking at it right now. Now, first and foremost, I want to apologize to you two as commissioners for causing this situation. I want to apologize to our the other participants in this league for causing this situation. I did not mean to cause this situation, no matter how much Seth doesn't believe me. What happened is, as you know, my franchise is currently in a 100% tanking state. And I was unaware there was a league policy that, putting in a good faith effort. I'm glad that we're here right now with you two, because I was actually going to pull my entire roster this week. Like I said, I don't know if Sleeper lets you do that. I might try it right now, actually. I don't know if Sleeper lets you do that, but
just be careful. Seth's probably watching the app right now.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to pull my entire roster because I'm 100% tanking right now. And like I said, I'm glad we're where we are now so we can address the elephant in the room. Apparently, we're going to go. You guys are going to decide what the policy is moving forward and what my punishment is or what the consequences are. But yeah, last week I had my lineup set, and what you're seeing is an exact mirror image of last week's lineup because I didn't touch my lineup. I've been kind of just sitting back, watching the league. I'm not competitive this year, so I was just going to see, where people are at, where players are at. Obviously, we saw what happened to Dak Prescott yesterday before I move some trades around and try to make some moves in the back half of the season before our trade deadline.
Yeah,
so
nice.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I think that, we've kind of discussed it informally of that. We didn't really make a formal policy around it. So I think moving forward, making more of an effort to, potentially if there's an issue like that where things that's happening, draft picks or something like that. But we do want to have that good faith effort because otherwise we have quite a few people in the tanking category at the moment, and we don't want to end up with half the league playing, half the league watching.
Yeah, that doesn't make it fun, and I understand that. It's shocking to me as I'll be transparent, and I'm a big fantasy guy, and this obviously isn't the only league that I'm in. And I have other leagues that I'm participating in that have a little larger of a buy-in. So they kind of get priority in terms of what I'm looking at first. And I didn't look at my lineup this week. And I was shocked when I got a call out from the defending champ this morning, because I'm a pretty passive guy. And I get a shout out on the app. And, I was shocked that I look at the app and I'm actually playing you, Eric. And I think I'm only down 2 points going into Monday night. And so I was absolutely flabbergasted that I'm currently competitive with a team that's been dropping 200 plus points in consecutive weeks. So
yeah, my team is not looking too hot these last couple of weeks. And honestly, I'm surprised that Seth caught on to our collusion act. I
thought we weren't going to admit that.
I thought we were close. It didn't happen. So
yeah.
And you're probably still gonna win. All you have to do is Josh Allen has to score 3 less points than
King Henry.
Yeah, King Henry himself. So there's a very good possibility you still pull this one out, and this all gets swept under the rug. But
Yeah, and I think that's the best scenario. Obviously you want to win. I want to lose. Um, but hopefully, to right or wrong, I can win tonight and pull it out and uh, move to 1 and
Well,
4.
you can't win tonight. It's going to be Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, Tuesday because of
Tuesday night
COVID.
football. The new copyrighted
Right.
night of football. So
Has there ever been a Tuesday night game before? I was talking about this today at work with a coworker. Is this like a first? Do you guys know?
I
I
would
think it has to be.
I would assume it's
I
the
don't
know. Right.
first. Like I don't even know. Is there like a high school game on a Tuesday? Isn't it always like Friday night games, Saturday night
I
games?
feel like there's like a MAC college football game sometimes on a random weeknight or some non-power
Oh, yeah.
5. But I mean, the Bills, here we go again, set in history, Tuesday night football.
Yeah.
There it is. And you remember that commercial where it's like we own Sunday, so Monday, sometimes Thursday, sometimes Saturday. Throw Tuesday in the list now for
Yeah.
the commercial.
Now, like, what's safe? Wednesdays and Fridays. That's it. So,
Yeah.
no, that's crazy. I agree. But just to rub salt in the wound, will you please tell Seth Newell, who would you have started this week in place of Marquez Valdez Scanning?
And this is an off-the-cuff answer. I would have probably started Ruggs.
Okay. See, I feel like that's a legitimate answer. If you told me like Chase Claypool right now, I would just call total BS.
Yeah, but I think I would have eventually worked myself around looking at my line. I think I would have landed on Claypool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I think I would have got there.
Yeah.
So
one of those
we'll go with
reserves.
that.
Well, you are tanking, so it's like reverse psychology. Like, hey, I should put Claypool in.
Right.
It'll look like I'm trying, but he's gonna totally not do well. Yeah.
Right. He's a rookie. He's not going to do well. Big Ben doesn't ever look at him. Totally playing Claypool.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Ruggs would have been in there.
Yeah.
For real, Ruggs would have been in there.
Yeah, with Ruggs, you would have definitely won this week. But
which still is blowing my mind because I've looked at the app a couple times today. Getting called out, and I still can't believe I'm competitive.
Well, and I guess that's kind of our point too. That's why we want people to play in good faith, just because who knows what's going to happen. Like this Dak Prescott thing, that's horrible. But any given Sunday, even in fantasy.
And I mean, my team is just absolutely. Well, we're gonna get into it, but my team is absolutely decimated with injuries and COVID and all that. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, maybe that's just the perfect segue. Why don't we talk about your team? Lay it out for the listeners. Who's actually on your team? And because I think if I remember correctly, like your team's not bad on paper this year, yeah, but you have a good outlook going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I was highly competitive last year, landing in the championship with Newell. Mad props to him for pulling it out.
I did not remember that. So it's our champion in second place that are now competing for last.
Now we are trying to tank and get I don't know if he's going for Lawrence. I got my eyes set on Lawrence because of my quarterback situation.
I personally think he just likes the loser trophy better. I think is what it is. He's like, I want to get a signature on both of those.
Yeah, he wants to be the first one. I completely understand. I would probably be in the same situation if I had pulled it out last year, but I didn't. Props to him. His team was absolutely great last year. In talking about last year, though, it was very unfortunate because I had a bad management moment, and I don't know if you guys remember this in last year's championship. Because what week is our championship? It's not.
It'd be week
16.
Week. Yeah.
Yeah. I had Derrick Henry starting in that week, and I didn't know that he did not play. And I remember throwing it in the chat and saying, yeah, this is fine. That that gift. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is fine. I think I'm pretty sure Newell still would have beat me, so it didn't make a difference. But I had other things on my mind that morning. I didn't necessarily check my lineup. I remember I think I checked it Saturday night and then let it go. And then Derrick Henry, one of my top 2 running backs was not playing, and that dashed my hopes completely. So there's that. Anyway, that's last year. If anyone was ever wondering what happened in that championship. So with my team, I think I got a solid team. I think there's a lot of potential there. Some of the highlight of my players are, Deshaun Watson, of course, Derrick Henry, D-Hop. I mean,
He was catching every single pass for the Arizona Cardinals at the moment.
yeah, I mean, it seems that he's the only one that gets thrown to. They forgot that Larry Legend's on their team, apparently. I feel like he's getting no looks this year from Kyler. Yeah. But those are kind of my big three. I mean, one of the things that's really hit my team hard this year was, Devontae Freeman was a running back that I had obviously let go and is now on the Giants. But, that was there was that uncertainty going into the year. Like, he's not even on a team, but I'm not going to drop him because I think he has potential. You got Jameis Winston.
I was going to bring him up.
It's a 2-quarterback league, and it's like, oh, my goodness. I don't even have a second starting quarterback now. I have Drew Lock, but he goes down, week 2, week 1, I can't remember, with a shoulder injury. Cortland Sutton, another great wide receiver, goes down. Le'Veon Bell goes down. They're just dropping like flies, and I'm just like, all right, here we go. Let's start tanking.
Last week, I think he had 10 people that were either out or COVID listed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm maxing out. Like, we only have 4 IR spots, and I'm like trying to start a petition to expand that. And I mean, I got.
Well, the good news is we said in good faith. We didn't say you can't start someone who's like hurt. It's just a matter of like,
if it comes down to it,
if there's nobody available, you're stuck. So we're gonna see him switching out his lineup with like sending him to the waiver wire.
Oh yeah, I mean OJ Howard is in the tight end position. He's on IR right now. Like, I've played fantasy for a while now, and our rosters are pretty big. Our league is pretty deep with 12 teams. 12. And so it's like you're going deep, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my whole roster is just falling apart because they're either not playing, they're backup quarterbacks now, they're hurt, there's COVID, and they're not playing. So it's just been a roller coaster of a ride. But I mean, we're all going through this. It's not just me. So I feel like my team's been especially hit hard. But I think I have a good team moving forward. I was really going to regroup. I was in talks with Andrew Gordon, a.k.a. We all know Mark. There was some talks about a potential blockbuster trade, but that's to be continued. So
wow.
No, that's quite the teaser. We don't get any kind of
Saquon Barkley was involved.
Okay. All right.
So
here's the thing. I didn't tell anybody this. I asked him about Saquon Barkley as well. Because I was like, yeah, I mean, there's people are giving away draft picks. I'd be in contention. That seems like maybe a good move going forward. This is the deal he tried to get me for this year. So he's like, for Saquon Barkley, I want Josh Allen and I'm blanking. Who was the other one? Josh Allen and I think he wanted one of my wide receivers. Oh, and Calvin Ridley. Josh Allen and Calvin Ridley. I'm like, are you serious, dude? For a running back who probably will come back totally fine, but there's no guarantee. And I'm competing this year. Like, no.
Yeah. No, nothing against Andrew. I think Andrew's a fair guy. Obviously, you got to throw something out to get the talk started. Calvin Ridley's been unreal this year.
Yeah.
Better than Julio. And then Josh Allen, never ever would I ever. So, yeah. I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Oh, I know. But unfortunately, that was like, okay, nope, we're not doing this deal. No, that's just not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. Buddy. There's just no guarantee, though. But Saquon's young. I think he's 26.
Oh, he'll bounce back for sure.
Yeah, he'll be back. I mean, look at the man's legs. The dude just, like, lifts
Tree
cars.
trunks.
Right. Even if they just have to amputate it, he can run around on just those quads, no problem.
Exactly. So I think Saquon will bounce back. He needs to get off the Giants, though. The Giants organization is in shambles. I don't know what's up with the turf. If you guys have read about the turf,
Yeah.
everybody keeps claiming it's injuries, and I mean, there's been plenty of injuries on that turf already to back that claim up. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Saquon needs to get off the Giants.
And get off
Maybe-
Andrew Gordon's team.
I was gonna say maybe they should do a trade with the Browns. They could trade Odell Beckham back to the Giants
Back to the
for
Giants.
Saquon. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, as soon as Saquon went down, though, I was immediately, I am trying. Even though it doesn't appear that I'm trying, I'm talking to people here and there. Newell went. We'll give him all the talk time. Newell went crazy. I mean, everybody was up on the trading block there. It was quite funny.
I was gonna say I think it's only him and you drafting in the first round this year. Is that correct? No, I still have my draft pick too, but I think there's only like 4 of us at this point.
Yeah, and I was, you get to that point where you're just like, okay, am I gonna compete this year or am I tanking? You got to make that decision because it's a dynasty league. And, it's just like, it was at that point, I think I was 0-2 at that point, and it's just like, okay, am I going to make a move here, get some players that are going to get me to a competition level? But then I was looking at teams like yours, Eric, dropping 215 points, and I was like, nope, tank all the way. I can't compete with that. But then you get to weeks like this, and it's just like, why am I tanking again?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like, it's like if Devontae Adams is on the field, I'm good. But he's never on the field.
He's not this year.
No. Not last year either. So.
Yeah. So, I think my team has potential. Going back to the original question, I'm not unsatisfied with my squad. I think I need to do my homework and decide where we're going to go moving forward as a franchise, I guess. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to win a game. Maybe I'll try to win a game or two this year.
I gave you 1 win for the year, Phil. I gave you 1. So prove me right.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm trying to give you another, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I glanced at your preseason projections, and I go, oh, that's so disrespectful. But I completely agree. So I was like, 1 win? I'll take that because, like I said, my quarterback situation between Deshaun Watson, Drew Lock, and Winston,
Don't forget Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, I don't know why he's still on my team right now. I guess there was some hope that he was going to take over for Drew Brees. I don't know where that situation is right now because clearly Jameis is the backup on that team. And like I said, it all depends on like where's Winston going next year? Is he going to have a job? Is he going to be another backup? He was – what did he do? 30 touchdowns and 30 picks last year?
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily affect me fantasy-wise because an interception's only 2 points. So he would drop, 40 points, throw 5 picks. I'd skate out of there
30 points. Yeah.
I'd skate out of there with 30 points. It wasn't a big deal. So he's a good fantasy quarterback. But obviously not when he's back up and he's not on the field. So quarterback situation is pretty dire right now over here in our team world.
Yeah. Well, I think that, obviously a lot to talk about in regards to the team. I know we mentioned him a little before, Josh Allen. I think that brings us to your Buffalo Bills. How did you get started with rooting for the Buffalo Bills? Yeah,
so this is a really simple answer, actually. My father is from upstate New York, and that's really all it is to it. It's a family team. My dad's from Batavia, New York, which is a fun fact. I bring up the small town of Batavia, New York, because if you're familiar with Cairn University sports at all, you would know that that's where Caleb Lang is from. So, yeah, big time connection there to the legend Caleb Lang. So, yeah, my dad's from Buffalo, not Buffalo, Batavia, which is right outside of Buffalo. And so we're Bills fans. My first memory of being a Bills fan was the Music City Miracle when the Titans hit that lateral on the kickoff there. So that's real fun.
What was it?
Well, we can commiserate at being Washington football team fans.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
being Washington fans, you guys know.
We know how to take a beating. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can take it.
Yes.
We can take a punch.
Yeah. So I mean, I've grown up in mediocrity of the Bills franchise. Been to a couple games in the snow. It's awesome. Bills Mafia is awesome. The atmosphere is completely awesome. Great fan base. I think it really means a lot for the city of Buffalo, the franchise. They just don't win, and they haven't been winning. But now is a new era.
They have potential this year for sure.
They do, and I think I'm actually really excited about them. I wasn't sold on Josh Allen until, his playoff performance last year. Like, I don't know where he went mentally in the fourth quarter against Houston. He went somewhere that wasn't there on the field, and he's just trying ridiculous plays. And I was just like, he's all over the place. And then he comes out these first 4 games and is looking like an MVP challenger to, Russ and whoever else, Patrick Mahomes. I guess Dak was throwing up MVP numbers until yesterday. So, yeah, I'm excited for the Bills. I think we got a good team. I like Devin Singletary. He kind of came out of nowhere. Moss has been hurt for a running back position, so I thought we had a little good core there. Stephon Diggs trade was huge.
It was.
Absolutely huge. And that was essentially our draft pick, with that trade. So him and Brown on the outside, that's a lot of speed. Somebody that could actually run down the field fast enough for Josh Allen to huck that ball to. So I don't know who has Diggs, but they got to be reaping the benefits of it.
I had him and traded him to Seymour.
So Seymour's got him. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much trade him for Fournette to, then just be demoted to the Bucs. So it wasn't great.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how it was going to work because, Stephon Diggs is a solid player, but you just never know how it's going to work with a new franchise. And the way Josh Allen was playing, it was like I wasn't completely sold on him. I'm all in right now. We'll see if that lasts. But, yeah, I would love to work out a potential trade for Josh Allen, and I would give up a lot.
All right. Well, my ears are always open for trades. Can't guarantee. I am pretty keen on Josh Allen myself. I had to work pretty hard to get him. So it might cost you a little bit, but
I would expect it to.
Okay. And it probably is not going to happen this year, but we could talk in the off season.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
It's a long-term game.
For sure. So we are cheap. We're getting the 8-minute warning here. So that's plenty of time. But we have one question that we've been asking recently that we are really interested to know your perspective on, which was what exactly was your strategy going into year 1 of our Dynasty League? And is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, so I think Mark and I were texting when Mark, because Mark and I know each other from college, and he was saying, you want to be part of this league, probably going to be a long-term thing. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm all in. I love fantasy football. Like I said, I'm in a bunch of leagues, typically a little more competitive than this league this year. So, yeah.
That's what they all say, but
I'm going for a 3-peat in a keeper league, which is not a dynasty league, but it has similar traits in a way. And so I never actually been a part, as much of fantasy football as I have played, I have actually never been a part of a dynasty league this serious. And, I was a little thrown back by how competitive our league is. And that is good because you guys sought out some real players. I thought it might be a little more chill, but it's not, as you can see in our chat. So I love that. I love the competitiveness. I love getting called out. But yeah, coming into year one, thinking about like, okay, like this draft is huge. Like this is the draft. Like you have these players on your roster. So I'm a big analytics guy. I do a lot of research. I'm a big nerd. And I was reading a bunch of, football blogs about, different draft strategies. I think I would have liked to go a little heavier on quarterbacks, maybe grab one more. I think my first pick was Deshaun Watson. And I was reading, you strike that happy balance of, you try to grab young players that have a lot of potential, but you also want to win now. So you grab good players. I think I kind of struck a happy balance. Deshaun Watson was my big QB pick. Of course, going for Derrick Henry, Le'Veon Bell. You go for people that help you win now, and then I love the taxi feature that we have with our league, which I had never done that before. So it's a lot of firsts. As much fantasy football as I've played, which is a lot. Never really a serious dynasty league and never done sleeper before. So I think in just to answer the question straight up, I think I would have gone for one more quarterback. I think it's called you get the 2 stud method. So you go for 2 star quarterbacks instead of like your one good quarterback and then maybe like 2 or 3 second tier quarterbacks. I think I would have gone for the 2 stud method. And other than that, I was pretty happy with my first year strategy. I got to the championship.
Yeah.
I think I kind of flew under the radar. I don't really talk much trash or anything. Pretty straightforward guy, pretty boring. I just try to fly under the radar and win, except this year. But yeah, one more quarterback would have been. Yeah, kind of like the Bills, just kind of there, just kind of there. Make a playoff appearance every year, and hope to bring home a championship at some point. Maybe not lose, 4 Super Bowls in a row, but that's a record that the Bills have, and it will never be beat. So
I don't think so.
So hopefully we won't have any repeats of that in this fantasy league. But yeah, I like what you guys are doing. I want to commemorate the commissioners. I'll give you guys praise. I'll probably get flack for it, and then you'll probably get roasted in the chat. But yeah, I like our league. I think it's very competitive. I think we got a good thing going.
I remember when we were first setting it up, and we talked about like the kickers and defense. I remember hearing from you that you were pretty happy about that.
Talk about that real quick? Sorry to interrupt you, Mark, but I love kickers. And it's a huge downer to me. I should have really lobbied this in the off season of adding kickers. That's all I gotta say.
You can, this off season, we open it up for rule changes or whatever. So,
right, and that's my
prepare your speech.
Yeah, that's my own fault for not being vocal, but I love kickers. I think they make a huge difference. I've won championships because of kickers. So I like kickers.
We can put them in as like a flex opportunity where you can put them in your flex.
Honestly, that's my DFS strategy. All right. You go with those like single game showdowns or whatever.
Yeah.
You put in the defenses, you put in the kickers, you get your automatic 10, 15 points. I've won a lot of money that way.
Yeah, very popular stack is the kicker defense, opposing defense stack. So, yeah, I love kickers. I love defense. I would like to see them in. I'd like to see them in someday. But I like going deep into the league and, really researching the players. We have huge rosters. We have taxi spots. We have, IR spots. We can really make our rosters huge. I like going after players that, I mean, we're fighting for players on the waiver wire for like these guys who might get playing time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Phil, thanks for joining us here. We're sneaking up on our time. I appreciate you coming on, giving you some space to, make your case, plead your case with us in front of the council. But thanks for coming on, and it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. All right. Until next week, guys. Oh, we'll see you later.
See you guys.